Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Anecdotal Economist, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about the old adage, measuring your wealth in ounces or in dollars. Let's get into it. I got in a nice big gold order. Okay, that didn't come out the way I thought it would. That's where it comes from.
Here, pick it up, feel it, tell me what you think.
No other mint has this issue.
The triangle has replaced the British pound.
Like little trading cards.
That's a naughty word. We never rob. We just sort of borrow a bit from those who can afford it.
Hey, by the way, when you see that intro, does that take away? I think it's a little too long. Does that take away or add? Am I losing viewers? Let me know in the comments. Getting into it though, do you measure wealth in ounces or dollars? Here's the thing, I hear this all the time in the stacking community. I don't measure my wealth in dollars, I measure it in ounces. And listen, I'm not telling anybody how to measure your wealth. You got to pick it yourself. But I am absolutely convinced if you're trying to measure it in either dollars or ounces, you're doing it wrong. Your wealth should be measured in your relationships, your family, the pursuit of happiness in your life, maybe your relationship with God, whatever it's going to be. But it should not be measured in gold and silver or dollars. But I think what people mean to say, maybe I'm reading into it too much, they mean to say, are you measuring your financial wealth in ounces or dollars? Now that's a little bit of a different question. I think that's what people mean, to be more specific. And what I'm going to say is I think you need to use both. We are in a transitory time, and I'm going to go over this in a future video, but everybody knows the gold standard was officially put on hold in 1971. But it took a while for gold to find a bottom. Ever since that bottom, gold has been going up steadily. That was in the 80s, by the way. It's been going up steadily, and until our financial system changes, it's going to continue to go up. And so, to me, you can measure your wealth in ounces, but you should be paying attention to the price of the metals as well, okay? You need to know what the dollar's doing because unfortunately, we don't live in times with sound money, and we've got to stay on our feet. We've got to measure it, in my opinion, both ways, multiple ways. You could also look at your real estate. Look at the safety you have in preparedness, in your shelter, in, do you have emergency supplies? Do you have vehicles and transportation and friends? And I think you guys get what I'm saying. It's fun to have a stacking channel. I absolutely love it. I have a great time stacking these coins. But at the end of the day, they are just coins. Money isn't everything. You know what I'm saying? Now, I have an absolute fun time with it. I'm making videos about it. I mean, who does that if they don't like it? So don't take me the wrong way here. I just think you got to keep in mind there's other things in life that are important. And in my case, I don't think I'm overly rich when it comes to money and metals, but I am very rich in my life. So let's dive into this financial thing. I keep going back to like money's not everything, but let's just get into this financial thing here. When does it make sense to look at ounces and when does it make sense to look at dollars? And I think what it really comes down to is when are you planning on using that money, right? If you're talking about what you pay your monthly bills with and money that you're currently spending, then use fiat currency to value that. That makes sense to me. But if you're talking about a long-term storage of wealth, you're talking about something that's going to weather the storm, you're talking about money that you don't use, it's just wealth that's stored up in the background, ready to be used in the future, that's where you could use ounces. And I totally get that. I just see them as two different things. And I'm not sure if I'm being totally clear on this, but it's something that I hear people say all the time. And I just happen to be one of those guys that thinks it's a little bit more in the middle than that. You know what I'm saying? It's not as simple as one or the other. Sometimes there really are two different ways to look at things. And in fact, I think there's far more than just two different ways. I think there are so many different people in this community, in this game, looking at things differently. We talked about collecting in the last video, the idea of, saving or trying to invest. I actually had some people comment that they have the majority of their gold holdings in ETFs. I can tell you I'm about 50-50. And I think I wish I had more physical. Sometimes I do sell it to buy other stocks and there's different things going on. So anyways, there's so many different ways to look at it. This is just a short video to say, guys, try to remember to take a step back. I know I need to remember this from time to time. I get all caught up and like, this is how much it has. And I watch the price of gold like a hawk. But at the end of the day, my wealth is measured not in ounces, not in dollars, but both. Now, was this kind of a goofy video or are you guys tracking what I'm saying? To me, this makes a lot of sense. If anyone knows how to get rid of that copper spot above his eye there, if you can see that, let me know. There's something funny going on there. Okay, well with that rant out of the way, we always like to do a review at the end of the video. This might be a little bit of a longer review than normal. I've got these Germania Fenrir coins. A few of you have noticed them in the background. Whew. Gotta be careful, just about drop those. These are out of the capsules, by the way. And so I wanted to talk about this because I think it's such a cool coin. I've seen other people talk about it, and they're the only guys who do this, where the reverse side of the coin, if I flip these around, one has the back and one has the front. So you actually need two coins to complete the picture. And you can see the detail on these Fenrir coins is absolutely fantastic. His fur, it's always hard to capture this with lighting, especially when it's really shiny like that. But with the naked eye, I can promise you, the fur just looks fantastic. That 5-mark tattoo stamp on his leg really does fit well. The chains, if you know the story of Fenrir, you know, I'm not a big mythological guy, but even I've heard of Fenrir. It's a pretty cool story. It's like this undead dog that was trapped underground or something for a long time. You got the Germania crest. This is a 2022 coin, and it's very hard to make out. I'm actually going to put one coin down. You can see what this looks like. It is a very cool looking sort of layout with this dog. If you get in really close, I'm going to see if I can get this in here. You can see in the background, there's this sort of textured, leathered effect. It's really hard to pick up on the camera because it is so shiny. And it's a very, very fine detail that you just about can't pick up on the camera. I'm trying really hard for you guys. By the way, this is 4.9 fine from Germania, very high quality product. I really am having a hard time picking up. I promise you this coin is better in real life than it is on the camera. And I happen to think it looks really good on the camera. One more thing that's cool about Germania is their capsules actually have a magnifying glass effect. So you can see it's actually convex on one side. So one side's flat and normal, and one side is sort of zoomed in. I think it's cool to have the option. Another thing is they actually make a capsule that connects two of these. This is a series, and I'm going to get those capsules when the next one comes out. That's the problem, though. Let me just pop this up on the screen. See, this is the series here, and they've made them in 2020. They made the Fafnir coins, which I also have. They made the Fenrir coins in 2022, so I'm assuming every 2 years they're coming out. Well, there's not much time left in 2024, and they have not come out with a new coin. And so this is the problem for me, because my plan was to buy the special capsules, two holder capsules, and they just haven't come out with it. So I'm very nervous about this. I'm worried that they're not going to make them again, and I'm going to lose money. But either way, it is what it is. Let me just show you one more thing these all come with. We got certificate of authenticity, of course, a mintage of 25,000, but because you need two, it's actually probably closer to 12,500, although I'm sure there's a few singles floating out there. I really do like their products. I like these coins. If they continue to make these, I'll continue to buy them. It remains to be seen, though, whether or not they're going to hold their value. Very exciting. Let's get one last look at these, and then I think we're going to wrap things up. What do you guys think? Germania coins? Pretty cool? Or not worth it? I know a lot of people, I got to buy a lot more US Mint stuff. That's on my list of things to do. I know they're not for everyone. Just to get you guys a quick close-up of the Germania crest, it's very hard to get because it is so small. It's sort of two eagles things holding spears. Quite cool looking. We are going to show the other coin, the Fenrir coin. And so that's my review for today. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Anecdotal Economist. That's my 2 ounces worth. Remember, I'm pulling for you. And we're all in this together.
Kilogram, you're the dragon, you're the rabbit.
Okay, let's look at the money side now. Watch as I pull this bad boy out of here. Absolutely stunning once you get it out of the case.
Feeling the weight of this in my hand. Oh, that's such a good feeling.
I never had enough gold.